body. Do you work out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can tell.
If a picture tells 1,000 words, then what exactly is behind these Calvin Klein ads?
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Why?
These sexy ads have everyone wondering just how provocative advertising should be. There was so much outrage about these commercials, young teens nervously posing in front of the camera to an older seductive voice.
Now, when you get to the wall, there you go, and give me a smile.
Some even called this kiddie porn. After Calvin Klein pulled these TV spots off the air, people were still angry. Even President Clinton had some harsh words.
Those kids were my daughter's age that were in those ads, and they were outrageous. It was wrong, and it is wrong to manipulate.
I guess a subject of notoriety because Delancey, at the age of 15, was one of the models who posed for these controversial ads, and with him is his father, Rudy Burzin. Why do you think everybody's talking about this?
I don't know. When I did the ad, I didn't expect it to blow up like this, but now it seems that everybody who's trying to, like President Clinton's trying to get reelected, so he'll come out and pose these family values of, he hates pornographic ads because they're all young kids and everything, but it doesn't make any sense.
You didn't think anything was wrong with this when you did this?
When I was doing it, I didn't really feel I was doing anything wrong, no.
First of all, how you got there is a story in itself. As I understand it, it was all started with your brother. What happened?
They found my brother skateboarding in Washington Square, and they took pictures of him, and when they called him back to the studio, I went down with him, and then they picked me instead.
And they picked you instead. Now, this is strange enough. What was a guy with a Polaroid camera doing in a big park in New York City just snapping pictures of
we
young
were kind of
boys?
skeptical at first. Like, we didn't really, we thought it might be something, like to that effect, where it would be like a little guy trying to take kids into his basement and stuff, but it turned out it was really Calvin Klein, so we were happy.
Except, Rudy, you didn't go to the shoot, the photo.
Well, the shoot was at a studio in New York City, much the same as this studio, in a building that was a studio building.
So you had checked this out. This is a Calvin Klein ad.
Right. This is an honest thing. It's not some go up 3 stories in a walk-up building or something. It was a reputable thing. There was a contract involved in signing it, a release before the shoot actually happened. So, as I say, this is where lawyers come in New York to protect your children. You don't need to follow them around and stick your nose into their business or somebody else's, a producer or a director.
Did you know what was going to happen?
When my son came out, he said everything was fine. They gave him a private dressing room. They didn't ask him to do anything that he felt uncomfortable with. They gave him complete control over what he could do and what he didn't want to do. And therefore, I said, okay. When the picture came out on the bus, I saw it the first time when I was going to lunch. I said, hey, there's my son. And I pointed it out to several people. And they all said, oh, he takes after his mother, right? And, that was it. It was a nice thing. And then they did say, oh, look at that girl in the T-shirt in the back of the bus. I said, okay, this is a collage. They didn't line them all up like a firing squad and take their picture. It's artistic expression.
Are you surprised at the explosion of controversy?
Well, it's the first color ad Calvin Klein's ever done in print, and by hiring the persons he did to make the show, or to make the ads, yeah, I'm not surprised about the notoriety that it got.
Yeah, but a lot of the criticism is directed strictly at your son and his age, and what is he doing?
That's one of the reasons why I got involved in this. When Orly Healy broke the story in the Daily News, there was some kind of a secretive thing that Calvin Klein has underage models. I said, my son was underage. Yeah, he was 14 when the shot was done. He turned 15 shortly thereafter. But there was absolutely nothing wrong with the way it was shot, and if a photographer makes a collage,
you don't understand how parents would be critical of you for allowing your son to do this.
Well, I tell you, if I could allow my son to do his math homework, that would be something too. You can't make children do anything.
That? It's different? Why is it different?
Math homework is something positive. If Calvin Klein wants to sell clothes, then your son should have had on clothes. We did not, no. All we saw on that was his chest, his body. You could barely see the pants. You could barely, and I don't fault your son, I fault you as a parent. because you should have had explicit, you know, what's going on. You should have been more abreast of how this is going to look.
In the commercial is basically the feeling that was going on in that entire shoot.
What you interpreted is a lot more than what was going on. It was just a simple, you know, producer trying to get people cast, and you guys making out to be this big pornographic thing, which is
all right, fine, yeah.
Maury, I think this whole situation is very indicative of the whole American public.
Well, a lot of people do.
Once people get on their soapbox, they make stuff into what it really isn't.
I understand all that, but you see, I don't want to look on this politically. I know that there are going to be conservatives and liberals and all of that coming on, Democrats and Republicans, and I don't want to get caught up in that. I just want to get to the root of all this and what he was really trying to do. Do you believe Calvin Klein when he says they were just intended, Rudy, to sell clothes?
I think so. The thing is, advertising has a job to break through. You've got to attract people's attention. That's the job of advertising, and that's the job of... This advertising caught everybody's attention.
It sure did. And by the way, he's done it before.
Exactly.
If we went back 20 years, everyone, if we went back 20 years and we saw Brooke Shields in Calvin's for the first time at the age of 15, didn't Calvin Klein do the same thing 15 years ago?
Absolutely, and created